What's poppin'? We got the house history class, man. Happy Corona break to y'all.
You know what it is. Go ahead, like and subscribe to the channel. This is where you finna learn about the history. You feel me? Tune in.
Straight like that.
What's going on, guys? Coach Al's here talking to you today. I'm going to pick back up where we left off of the Great Migration, World War I, and I'm going to finish that first note packet as we get through our Monday, looking at our Tuesday of this week. A little quick recap. Remember, the United States does not want to get involved in World War I. We will eventually get involved. It's going to make the war a shorter war due to, you know, just the impact of having the United States involved in this war. Re-highlight the Zimmerman note, sinking of Lusitania, all these things is stuff you should know. We talked about Eugene Debs, creation of the Socialist Party. We talked about the Great Migration of individuals, African Americans moving up to these northern cities such as Detroit, Philly, Chicago, places like that. And you're talking about this leading up to the Harlem Renaissance, which we will talk about in our next couple of videos. So, picking back up where I left off yesterday, World War I is going to come to an end. President Wilson is going to have something called his 14-point plan. So this is a pretty important thing, and the most important thing, this 14-point plan is designed to help prevent, maybe future conflicts with countries. It's going to try to prevent lack of communication and help these communication issues between countries so that, you know, there may not be an event like this that happens again. Obviously, we know World War II happens, but this is in creation to try to prevent some of these events from happening. So within his 14-point plan, is actually his 14th point. This is going to be, he wants to create something called the League of Nations. And you're like, well, what does that mean? Essentially, that means they want to create a pact that all these countries are going to come together to prevent a war like this from happening again. And the problem with the 14-point plan is it would require the United States to be involved, which we do not want to happen. So the United States actually does not get involved because we're afraid of if there's a conflict within some other country in Europe again, then we are going to be forced to get involved, and we do not want that to happen. Obviously, we know that this happens in World War II. Last couple things I'm going to talk to you about is going to be the origins of communism. So within the origins of communism, you need to know one guy, and this is the guy by the name of Karl Marx. Okay, now when we're talking about Russia, they're going to have their own little Russian Revolution, and this is where they are going to shift into this communist state. So the idea behind communism is that, like, the people, the workers, they're the ones that are controlling, the process of goods. They're the ones that are really running the country. But in reality, within communism, it doesn't work like that. The government is the one that controls all these little individual entities and everything that is responsible in that country, which is why when we get talking about Cold War, that they struggle. And this is when Russia becomes the Soviet Union, okay? And that's really important when it comes to World War II and beyond World War II, we get in, again, the Cold War and stuff like that. So just highlighting some main stuff. So remember, Karl Marx, he's going to have this idea of communism, and the workers' base are going to be the people that are going to run the country, and this is going to spark this thing called the Bolshevik Revolution. And like I said, this is like the actual term of when the Soviet Union gets created and when Russia goes away. So the creation of communism in Russia is going to lead to something known as the Red Scare in the United States. The Red Scare is this time period. This is going to be known as the first Red Scare. There is a second Red Scare when talking about the Cold War, which we will discuss in the last unit. But with this time period, the Red Scare, people in America are simply afraid that communism is going to spread to America through one way or another. So because of this, they're going to start doing limitations on individuals that are coming into the country. So really what this is going to do, this is going to be spurred from quotas. And so quotas are an exact number about how many people are allowed to enter into the United States. And you can go back and you can look at little detailed records throughout history, and you can see how quotas have changed over time. A long time ago there was no quota, and then you could we've already talked about the Chinese Exclusion Act. That's not a quota, but that is something along the lines of this when considering immigration. And then you're going to have this quota installed to limit certain individuals that are coming into the United States from certain countries. Now you can imagine these individuals that are coming in through these countries, they are from countries that are practicing communism or may have had rumors that communism is spreading to those countries. So that is really it for this unit. I will upload my notes after this. Make sure you are completing your notes and your USA test preps as we go out throughout this week. And we are one step closer to the end of the school year. So make sure you're doing everything you need to be doing so that you can get the best grade possible, not only in my class, but in your other classes. So until next time, I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for watching History with House.
Don't forget to
Like,
comment,
and subscribe.